All right. Hold it. I would like to welcome 2018. Why is it king to me? Is well because he had an epic battle on his platform. Murder Mook versus Verb. It was so epic. He had to drop that ASA motherfucker P for the culture. And it has a lot of things transpired after that battle. You know what I mean? So, man, let me get the king of RBE, ARP, back on Hold Yourself Radio. Welcome, sir.
Yo, what's good, homie? Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you. What's good?
Good, man.
I'm glad you corrected that too.
Yeah,
I'll take if you say like.
Good, Mark G. Congratulations.
What up? Thank you, man. Thank you, and I'm glad you changed that, man, because I guess if somebody say the king of the RBE, I definitely share that with the co-owner and the partners and everybody that partakes in RBE. But I definitely don't want to be called no king of battle rap or nothing like that. Never, never.
Right.
So
no, it's 2018.
It,
it's like the battle of the year. You know what I mean? This is 2018. You did your thing this year.
Appreciate
you know what I mean? So
appreciate that. Yeah, man. Team effort, man. Shout out to Mook. Shout out to Verb. Shout out to everybody part of the event. Everybody that supported the event. RBE staff. It's a team effort, my man. We working.
That's what's up, man. Well, again, welcome to the show. And I don't know what's wrong with Blog Talk, so you might hear some things cut in and out. Everything on my end is straight. I don't know where it's coming from, but I apologize again.
Nah, it's all
right.
Good, baby. Appreciate y'all.
So let me ask you how's the feeling? Because last time we spoke, you know what I mean. Summer Madness hadn't hit yet. This event hadn't hit yet. So how is your feeling on how everything transpired?
It's a feeling of validation towards the things that RBE believes in. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing with Murder Mook, being out of battle rap. Well, not battling, I should say, for 4 years. And even the way that RBE has just built the platform and our following brick by brick over the years. I mean, and then, doing something like that that's so risky, trying to bring Murder Mook back and pairing him with somebody that, the fans weren't necessarily, pitching for at the time, and having us create a new narrative, a new storyline, and then putting together such a big event molded around that main event. For it to all come together successful, and the battle is to have great performances, and for Mook and Verb to be classic, it just validates the hard work. And when we try to step out the box a little bit and take these type of risks and really, really just try to bring things to the next level, whether it be consistently or for a moment, or we try something new, we step outside the box and take a lot on and put a lot on our shoulders. So when it all formulates for such an epic event like that, it's just validation for the things that we believed in. You know what I'm saying? So it's appreciative.
Exactly. Father Fresh, you have any questions? I wanted to do something different today. I wanted my co-host to ask ask their questions, and then I'll do the cleanup, at the end. So, Harlem Fresh and Preston is on right now.
Sure.
You on with ARP.
What's good, homie?
Harlem Fresh, go ahead.
Yo, I was going to say, I don't really have a question. I just want to say, at this point in time, I think this is one of the most about battles, from the simple fact that you have people saying that Mook lost clearly, then you have some people saying that Mook won, he got the second and third, and then it was like a highly anticipated, and it's like one of the most controversial battles that'll go down in history. So that's the overall success right there when you look at it from that standpoint. So it's like with that being played out, and still like with the success of Head Ice filling in for Daylight battling King Los, that turned out to be a decent battle as well. It's like, at the end of the day, did you feel like within your business plan and the maneuvers that you had to make at the last minute, did you feel like there was any kind of risk or loss you might take at any given point?
I mean, no. I mean, we always felt the different risks that we were involved in, even from the very first announcement, before people even knew Verb was there, just from announcing Mook. But, pardon me, even then fast forward into, like, you know, announcing matchups like King Los and Head Ice, you know, and they only had like 3+ weeks to write and everything. Yeah, I mean, we definitely felt the risk. At times, we felt pressure to deliver. That comes with a company that is dealing with a fan base and an entire battle rap culture that's looking towards us to deliver a certain standard. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing within itself. You know what I mean? If we was just like some brand new platform that came in, threw some money around and said, hey, let's try this, you know, I don't even think the fans would have as much stake in the situation. But because it's Rare Breed Entertainment, because we've developed such a strong track record and reliability with the battle rap culture's fan base, that they start to look at us and question certain things and say, okay, like, what's going on here, what's going on there? And some things fall short with every platform at times. You know, there's main events that get canceled, or there's main events that, you know, end up horrible, or somebody chokes, or you just never know. But, yeah, there was definitely pressure, but it's all pressure that we took on, because there's no part of the Rare Breeds event or during our entire promo run that started from, like, May all the way into August 18th. You know, there's nothing that went on within the entire promo run or anything that was situated that was just spur of the moment. Everything was calculated. Yeah. Every situation, every decision, whether it was a hard decision, an easy decision, something that we knew we was going to, you know, have to stand tall on, it was all calculated. You're talking about, you know, the co-owners, myself and Shata, and, of course, shout out to our partner Lawrence as well, that's always in the loop. You know, of sitting down and trying to figure out the best approach for every moment of that card. You know, not everything is going to be perfect. None of us are perfect. Not everything is going to run perfectly smooth. You know, no event goes like that. But best believe everything that we do, whether people agree or disagree, at least we did our due diligence to think it out, calculate, and to make the best effort to bring the best quality and the best situation to the fans. And I think the fans at the end of the day respect that, especially when they get details from me or blogs from me. You know, certain things are uncomfortable, certain things are agreed with or disagreed with, but they understand that it didn't just come from some random place. They're like, okay, there's logic and realities or truth and thought behind these situations. You know, and I think the fans respect that.
Person.
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing, ARP, man? Fuck all that.
Yo.
Who do you have winning, Verb or Mook?
I haven't chosen a winner yet because I haven't sat down and forced myself to go over that second round. I've heard differences of opinion. You know, I've heard a lot of people saying Verb. I've seen celebrities and a bunch of people still saying Mook too. I've seen 3 O's. I've seen 2 1s. You know, and I'm definitely falling back and playing my position and trying to stay away from all of that shit. But I honestly haven't chosen a winner yet. And some of that is attributed to the fact that it's such a great battle. It's such a classic battle. I mean, there are like classic body bag moments that the battle rap culture could look back on and be like, damn, like I want to watch it just for this. Like this one moment that was so one-sided. That's cool. But I think one thing that creates, you know, timeless battles is when they're just that classic, that close, that debated, like you said, even controversy. So, you know, anybody that jumped out and had a winner like the day of, I think that's a little fast because there's so much content to digest. You know what I'm saying? I think people are still picking up on certain bars that Mook said and Verb said, you know what I mean? And my vibe right now, I did watch the footage a couple times, and, of course, I was there front and center live. I had Verb taking the first. I had Mook taking the third. And some of that is my own fault of not spending too much time with the second. I think I've been so overpowered by the first and the third rounds and digesting all of that I haven't given enough attention to really just figure out and decide on the second round. So I've even seen people say that, Mook's third counts for multiple rounds. And I've seen people say that Verb's first round counts for or trickles into the second. Like, people are analyzing this battle so many different ways. But I'm just a fan like everybody else. And not only do I rarely jump out there and publicly say a winner for an RBE battle, I rarely do that anyway. But even if I wanted to say, you know what, I'm just going to tell y'all how I feel as a fan, it wouldn't be fully justified yet because I haven't fully decided on the second round. And that's just dead honesty, because I'm telling you, I got Verb first and I got Mook third. So I really, really need to focus on the second for a chance and see what's up.
Okay. And last question: how do you follow up this epic battle card? How you follow this up?
Damn, I hate that question. I hate that question. Everybody's asking that. Let
me change that question then.
No, it's a perfect question. When I say I hate that question, I don't mean as far as you asking it. Let me explain. The reason why I hate that question is because I understand the perception that's being created already. And that means that because so many people have asked RBE that, whether it be on social media or, following up with us after the event, it's because the perception is, because you had such an epic event and because you had such a big battle like Murder Mook's return after 4 years versus the Midwest legend Verb, we only want to see Lux or Hollow or Drake or Pusha T or Royce 5'9", or that's the expectation now. And I've been trying to, explain, before and after the event that I just fair to RBE because we announced our company and our channel in 2013. And then when we started running these events successfully ever since 2014, months later after we announced the company and we started promoting our first event, we've always gone left. We've been innovative. We've been trend-setting. And we've been consistent. So we're talking 5 years now. It's just not fair for one event or one battle to shift that much perception of what is expected or what RBE should do. What we should do is be RBE, because whether you're talking the blood, sweat, and tears concept, whether you're talking skit trailers, whether you're talking Starting 5 series, judge battles with money on the line, and the way we promote things, like all this innovation that we, the return back to small room series, all the innovation and pushes that we've done into battle rap, it's the same reason and approach why we would say, you know what, let's book Murder Mook. It's just seeing something that we think would trend set or be different in the culture, because we're talking 4 years where he's sitting out. Some battlers don't even stay in the game for 4 years. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's the same type of mentality that would book a Murder Mook that would introduce a series like Blood, Sweat, and Tears. It's the same mentality. So when I say I hate that question, it's only because I know that we have to now fight a perception of this is what RBE should be doing now. And I just don't think that that's fair to RBE. But we are ready for that type of response to whatever we do now. I'm ready to understand. And we're already bracing ourselves that if we turn around and we say, we got the homie Big Cannon on because, that's one of our guys and we've always rocked with him and support him. And he's our next main event. We know that they're going to be like, where's Verb and Lux? Fuck you, RBE. We get it. You know what I'm saying? So, not only to clarify that and remind people where our minds is at, but if you just want to be literal and answer the question, what's next for RBE is just whatever people would expect from us. There's things that's in motion, things that we're working on as we speak. But I want people to understand that we haven't changed. You know what I'm saying? You might see big cards, you might see small cards, you might see huge main events, you might see humble main events. with just talented battlers, the type of people that we always worked with. And I would love for people to keep that type of expectation for RBE because it also attributes to our consistency and longevity. We're not always, out here trying to jump out the window and take on an 8-battle event, with such huge talent like the Rare Breeds card and do a 4-month promo run. That's a lot of work. We're not always going to be looking to do something like that. So hopefully the fans would understand that from a culture standpoint, from a business standpoint, and from the standpoint of how we've always carried the brand and RBE, that they would have, flexible expectations of us. That would be the most beneficial and most logical for people to understand. Flexible expectations for RBE because it's the same mentalities that have been here since day one.
Right. Anything else, Professor?
How does it feel to know you beat URL in Summer Madness?
We don't look at it like somebody beat somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, as I've been trying to, make people understand is that RBE doesn't care about competing with a given platform. Now, that would sound hypocritical to somebody that didn't understand the point, especially when we turn around and do something like we put the Rolling Stones cover up of like 50 Cent and Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? Because, a lot of people were thinking that the events might be on the same day and, there's some behind-the-scenes stuff that's going on and all types of stuff that we were dealing with that we were being faced with and we had to work through. And some of it we're just going to keep in private because, we're not looking for all the extra attention and the drama. You know what I'm saying? But we dealt with a lot while we were, promoting that card and putting that card together. And there's a lot about the card that people don't know. There's some things that people do know, but there's just a lot about the card and things that were going on that people don't know. And like I said before, what all RBE was looking to do was turn negatives into positives. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Sometimes, when you're dealt a certain hand, you got to say, all right, well, if that's what's going on and if that's how it's all going down, then how do we make the best of these situations? How do we try to stay positive? How do we make sure that we stay successful? So, we put a competitive vibe out there for the cards of Summer Madness 7 and Rare Breeds in hopes that fans would just look at August and tune that much more into the Rare Breeds card and look for their winners. But once again, from a promo standpoint, to turn negatives into a positive. But, once that's all said and done, even if Summer Madness 7 was one of the best events ever, it wouldn't change how proud we are to be in such a big month like August 2018. It wouldn't change how proud we are to turn out of all the battlers and the feedback from the Rare Breeds event. You know what I'm saying? So we're right back to being the same RBE that we've always been. We don't care to compete. We don't look to compete. And nobody is over here sitting on any brownie points talking about, oh, do you see the fan feedback? They're saying this beat that or RBE's over this now. Because we also understand that some of that stuff be temporary anyway. You know what I mean? There are loyal, true supporters, and then you got fickle fans, and you got to know the difference. Like, there are loyal, true supporters that got our back regardless, no matter what. They've been riding with RBE since they learned of us, and they support us no matter what. You know what I mean? Through the good, the bad, the ups and downs. Then you just got fickle fans, and we know that some of those guys will, try to hype us up and gas us up and say that you're number one, you're the best league, you're this, you won that. But those same people, if we, book a card or a battle that they don't like or something like that, they'll be the same ones to throw us under the bus and say, oh, your league is the worst, and ARP and Shop and Lawrence, y'all are the worst. You know what I'm saying? So, I think we're smart enough to know those type of things, and we're also humble enough not to try to relish in those type of things on social media or, from a company standpoint, because none of that shit makes us any extra money. You know what I'm saying? There's no award for this shit at the end of the year. There's no, like, everybody's going to have their bragging points. Everybody's going to have their reasons to say why they're good at what they do and why they're successful, the same way RBE does. And our attitude is just keep it moving and keep trying to put on for ourselves, our fans, and the battle rap culture. That's it. Like, who's better now or later doesn't really matter, especially when you're just concentrated on working hard and putting on. And that's our main focus. Our main focus isn't to compete with any other league or entity. It's just not what we're here for.
How is the response for you from the mainstream
I'm sorry, say one more
people
time.
that were watching? What was the response from all the mainstream people that were watching the pay-per-view, you know, the mainstream, like the hip-hop artists and things like that, the celebrities?
Oh, it's crazy, and it's still going on right now. I don't remember the last time. Maybe it was Summer Madness too. Like, I can't remember the last time we've seen, you know, it's not just battle rap. This is much bigger than battle rap, obviously, because you're talking about mainstream artists. This is like the pop world and the hip-hop world and, you know, sports players and figures tuning in. I mean, off the top of my head, from the NBA, like I remember Bradley Beal. I remember Jason Tatum chiming in. You know, you got actors and movie stars like Omar Epps. You got, you know, rappers like Joe Budden, LL Cool J, Dave East, Jadakiss, Joel Santana, The Game, moguls like Wyclef. You know what I'm saying? Like these are huge. Shout out to Oxymiron. You know, Raekwon, like you're talking about GOATs and Hall of Fame people and legends and movie stars and NBA players. It's just, and the response was just crazy. Like it started off as, hey, there's this huge battle going on this platform called Verb Entertainment that features the return of Murder Mook versus Verb. You know, so it started like that, and then when it was over, now you see a bunch of these celebrities weighing in, you know, on their Twitters and Instagram. Some people are arguing for Verb. Some people are arguing for Mook. And to sit back and watch, you know, these people. I mean, we know that a lot of celebrities tune into battle rap, especially hip-hop artists, because they come to battle rap and they enjoy the bars, whether they tweet about it, post about it or not. Sometimes they just watch it from the privacy of their own home and quiet and enjoy it. But we know certain people that tune in. Like, we were told that Eminem was watching the stream because Direct from Rap Grid, shout out to Direct and Rap Grid, the homies and the family over there. Direct is friends with Alchemist, and they were texting each other. And Alchemist, everybody knows the relationship between Alchemist and Eminem, you know. And Alchemist was telling Direct, like, yeah, M's watching right now, you know, but, you know, he's quiet, he's secluded, and, you know, we couldn't get Eminem to tweet. We wanted him to, but this was something news and spoken about around the world. Literally, we had people that flew into the event from all over the place. I put on Instagram like a picture that I took with a supporter that flew in from London, you know, just for the event. You know, so you had people that flew in from around the world to watch this event. You had people, you know, on the stream from around the world. I had people that was DMing us and tweeting us from different places like Nigeria. Like, hey, we're on the Rap Grid website and it doesn't have the Nigeria, you know, or Africa location to order from. Like, what do I put in to order? And he's like, man, just pick any country. It just wants you to fill in information. That's just informational purposes. You know what I'm saying? But you could pick any country. The streams are streams. As long as you got your internet connectivity, you're good. But seeing those tweets and DMs is like, wow. Like, you know, it's just amazing when, you know, your content and the things that you're putting together is being taken in worldwide on huge levels by huge companies and celebrities and moguls. And you think of somebody like Wyclef. Like, Wyclef could, like, run for president in Haiti. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. LL Cool J, you know, people want to see him, like, running Def Jam. You know the history of LL Cool J and Def Jam? Like, it's wild to see stuff like that. So, you know, we're just appreciative. So, just a wild response. Wild response.
And were you going to say something?
Shit, he got to answer my question. Shit. I was going to ask
I
the
tend to do that.
Sure, he answered kind of a lot of my
you
motherfuckers. He answered a lot of questions, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I tend to do that by accident sometimes, man. People tell me that a lot, man. I'm very, very. I've never been the type of person to try to rock with people and you know, oh, so how you feel about the event? I feel good. That's dry, man. I hate when people do that shit. So I try to make sure that anybody that's tuning in gets the full, all-out answer from me. But I'm here, homie.
Yeah.
What's good?
Yeah, I'm saying, though, at point it's like, I want to be like, man, shut the hell up so I can ask these damn questions. You done answered damn near 10 questions I had. Like,
Right.
Yeah, my bad. I dropped my phone. Yeah, like I said, yeah, my bad for over answering questions that you might have in the chamber, but that's me. Y'all know me for years, man. Y'all know what y'all get when y'all ask me questions. You know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna try to be as thorough as possible. So
yeah, I got one more question.
Yes, sir.
For 2019, can you like do a 5-minute blog and not a whole like 30-minute blog?
The funny thing is, I actually fell back from blogging like all 2018 and a lot of 2017. Now, if you go to the channel, you don't really see too many blogs from me anymore. The long blogs that you guys have seen recently have been like to deal with situations. Yeah, to address things and to deal with situations and make sure that, you know, our supporters get the full breakdown that they need. You know, but prior to that, you know, I was doing recaps and predictions when I was doing them, and they were pretty short. You know, it's funny because I see comments with people saying like, "Oh, finally ARP's back to the long blogs." Like people joking and shit because they remember the history of me doing long videos and shit. But I haven't even been on it like that, man. Like, I've been so busy and concentrating on just the content going up there, minus the blogs for me. You know, where mostly what y'all been getting is just battle rap content on the channel. I haven't been up there too much. You know what I'm saying? It's probably going to continue like that in 2019, to be honest. You know, so shout out to all the media and all the bloggers. Cause I've been tuning into them. But, you know, if there's some situation where we got to, you know, break things down for our supporters, and yeah, you're going to see me up there for 20, 30, 40 minutes. Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Like I said a long time ago, man, there's no time limit on the truth. That's just how it goes. There's no time limit on the truth.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: as ARP, the fan, not the league owner, not the businessman, none of that. The actual fan.
Yeah.
You being on that stage during that battle, Verb versus Mook. The thoughts what were your thoughts and what was the energy in the building that you was feeling? What about the thoughts and energy you was seeing when, you know, you're like, oh shit, did Verb just beat Mook in the first? To, you know, did Mook just get booed? To this nigga just rapped like 22 minutes. God damn, this shit is epic. Did they just say 3-0? Verb feeling? What was your feeling in those moments?
It's a lot to be up there live. I mean, the first crazy feeling that I felt is when I started to announce the battle, and then I couldn't really talk because Mook started putting on his do-rag. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and Shatta had this whole thing that we wanted to run down on the stream, you know, thanking everybody and introducing everybody to RBE that might be on the stream that hasn't, you know, seen one of our streams before. And Mook put his do-rag on, and when you see me in the footage holding my ears, it's because that's the loudest that I've ever heard it in Club Drama before. Like, it was wild. It was wild. The energy in the building live, like, I don't think anybody will ever understand unless they was there. And I knew that the crowd was just so ready to see the battle, and they was bugging out and screaming and jumping around so much that I said I can't do an intro. Like, yo, shout out to everybody on the stream, shout out to everybody in the building. Let's go, Mook, it's on you. And then you know, coming off of the first round, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm listening to Mook, and I'm like, oh, he sounds good. And then I'm seeing how aggressive he's being, and I'm like, oh shit, like this performance is gonna be crazy. Like, they're going to watch this shit, break this shit down, and the controversy. And then they had, like, the mini scuffle. You know, once that got under control, and I seen that they was both managing themselves well, neither one of them was, like, you know, bugging out or nothing. I was like, man, this energy is crazy. You know what I'm saying? is crazy. And then when Verb went, and then for him to get the response that he deserved in that round, I was like, yo, I think we got one, because we just needed the fans to receive Mook in this type of environment, which is why we kept it in Club Drum. And I'm glad the RBE supporters are the way that they've always been over the years when they come out to our events. They're not really into booing or nothing like that or disrespecting the battles. I was like, all right, Mook's round, man. They fucked with him. You know what I'm saying? Here comes Verb. Oh, shit. It ain't no Verb's the bad guy or Verb gets booed or nothing like that on RBE. When I saw that, I was like, oh, shit. So it's not a problem of, like, will the fans give him a chance because Murder Mook is, as big as he is. I'm like, everybody got fair game right now. Like the fans is fucking with both of them. And I was like, yo, this is wild. And then sometimes I was just in and out of the battle. Like sometimes I was in fan mode, other times I was in work mode. Like you see in the raw footage sometimes where I have to like call out somebody, for taping the battle. People is watching behind the scenes and they sending updates to the stage. And, you see me sometimes going to the side of the stage telling people like, yo, from the VIP, like, please, no recording and all that. So sometimes I'm working, sometimes I'm making sure that the aggression doesn't get out of hand so I can hop in and make sure everybody's, cool. It's just a mixed feelings being up there, man. But by the time we got to that third round, I felt that the battle was real close. And we knew that the unlimited round was coming from Mook. And he told me behind the scenes, he was like, you're going to feel like you paid me for 2 battles. So even I was curious to see, like, how long his third round would be. And then to see that it was that long and it was still interesting and entertaining and he didn't stumble or choke or nothing like that, I was just like, well, he's done. We got a classic on his side. And then Verb goes and he closes out his third round, mean too. And I'm just like, man, we got a classic. We got a classic. So it's just a great feeling, man. It was a great feeling.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate you pushing that to the culture because we need
no
shit
problem.
like that.
Yeah, no problem.
One thing, let me ask you this: are you planning to venture out of New York with an event one day?
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen sooner or later. It could happen. I don't think it's gonna happen this year. In 2018, there's not too much time left for some of the stuff that we already have planning, some of the stuff that's getting locked in or set up. So it's very possible that you see us out of town in 2019. But even if you don't, I don't take that as a huge deal. I mean, I do want to, shout out all the supporters in the different areas that would love to see an RBE event live, us to bring it to their town. But at the end of the day, we're not huge on moving around. We don't see that as a necessity. You know what I'm saying? We don't see it like, damn, if you're a league, a strong league like Rare Entertainment, you got to go on the road. You don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good for those fans that are in those areas. But if you're still operating out of where you're successful, where you grew your company from, and you're still right there, same place since day one, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So you may see it, but if it doesn't happen fast enough, as long as people understand we're still sticking to our formula that, has been with us since day one, that we're still delivering great content to the fans for. So
let me ask you one question. You've seen the rumblings of Verb and Hitman and Mook and Lux, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Should that be on one event, or should that have both of those be on a separate event?
You mean like Mook and Hitman, and like
Mook,
Hitman,
Verb, Lux.
Well, not the Mook Lux, but it was almost Hitman on this card. Hitman and I were negotiating to get him on this card, and once he was locked in, then we would have locked Ice Pack in, and you guys would have probably been rounded out with maybe like a Oops or a B Magic or something like that. and you guys would have had St. Louis versus either East Coast or New York, or Midwest versus East Coast or New York versus St. Louis. Y'all would have got that. But Hitman wound up taking the Tay-Rock battle, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to him for that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him for that. And at that point, you know, we stuck with what we had, and then we changed the theme just to the Rare Breeds card instead of Midwest versus East Coast. But, Hitman almost was on this card. But going forward, you know, if we put together two matchups like Hitman and Mook and Lux and Verb, like, sure, it could definitely be on the same card. That would be crazy. It's a very
that would have to
card,
be that would have to be down here. That would have to be down here, ARP, to be dead ass. It has to be down here in St. Louis.
Maybe. That's a very, very expensive card, though, man. Like, don't be mad at us if we throw a GoFundMe up for that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hey,
because,
and everybody from St. Louis to Kansas City and surrounding areas will be in the building.
I hope so. I hope so, because you know, word on the street is that Loaded Lux and Verb, you know, they and deservingly so. Word on the street is, you know, they're not going to be cheap for that matchup. And I think we all, you know, have it in our minds that Hitman is one of the more expensive guys in the battle rap culture. And then, of course, you got rumors of what Murder Mook asked for. You know what I'm saying? So you put those four guys together alone, and shit. I wonder if we can put up like a poll and get a guarantee. You know, who would support this? Like, how much would you pay for this? And put a poll up. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if you know.
I'll be in the building.
Yeah, man. That would be a historic ticket. That would definitely be a historic ticket to have, you know what I'm saying? And even, you know, that stream around the world, you know, we would hopefully have huge support for an event like that. Because
I would have to get the pay-per-view too, because I want to rewatch it. So, like, I'm going to be in the building and want the pay-per-view. So,
let me ask you a question. If you take Loaded Lux versus Verb and Hitman versus Murder Mook, how much do you think just those two battles cost together? What's the total?
For what? Pay-per-view or their price and pay?
No. Like
that's probably.
If you were a league owner, how much you think to pay? What's the total of paying those four guys? Just those four battlers in total.
I think the max would be 400,000. Like the max. I mean, I'm sure like Verb is not asking for 100,000. You know what I mean? But I'll give them 100 each. Like, to be honest, them are the biggest names. If people want to say that, because I know Mook after this battle, Jesus. But on the other hand, them pay-per-view sales is gonna like, oh, that was a good investment right there. You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta know that it will be all worth it. Whoever does it.
Hopefully so.
I know it's a lot of bread to fork out, but like if you just have some good, successful joints, I'm sure you got it in the tuck. You know what I mean? And then the pay-per-view pre-sales, you know, you get the VIP, the stage, the regular intermission prices. Just, oh man.
I think if you take your guess on that event, let's say you say the artist come to 400,000, right? Then that means that the overall event couldn't possibly cost $500,000 because there's so many things that, you know, are expenses outside of just the artists. You know, the artists are the largest portion normally, but you got to tackle on venue. You got to tackle in the stream. Like, people forget, the stream doesn't just make money, it costs money. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay for your streaming service. You have to pay for your camera and production crew. You have to pay for your editing, your promotion. You have to pay for all your travel, those flights, those hotels, staff wherever they're going to be. You know what I'm saying? So, like, let's say that show is going to St. Louis. That means that all the New York-based RBE staff has to buy flights and hotels for thousands and thousands of dollars to be in St. Louis. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's so much expenses that's tagged on outside of the battlers. You know, so that can easily be a $500,000, $500,000 event then. You know what I mean? And man, I mean, if we had something like that, I would hope that they would support it, because you know, I don't think you want to see hardworking platforms that bring you battles like that or events like that go under or go in the red. Hopefully, people would say, "All right, this is the time where we don't want to bootleg this. You know, we want to. If we catch anybody bootlegging it, we're not sharing it. We're not posting it. You know, we blocking those people. You know, I still to this day I see people. You know, they'll try to bootleg you, and then if you see a bootleg, people retweet it and share it and post it themselves for likes. And yo, look what they'll be in the Facebook groups like, look what I got. And sometimes even people with names support bootlegs. Like, I don't get it. Like, people that say they're for the culture will support bootlegs, and you don't understand. Like, you guys are supporting theft. You guys are taking money out of the pockets of the people that just put all of this together for you, and then you wonder why somebody might turn around. Like, let's say there's been 2 million views in a Verb versus Murder Mook bootlegs. You know what I'm saying? Now, if of those 2 million people that bootleg, let's just take a small percentage. Let's just say 100,000 of those people, 100,000 of 2 million, you know, would have purchased it if there wasn't a free bootleg. Now, what if we needed that 100,000 people that would have purchased it to actually finance the event that we laid all that money into it? So it's like the same culture that you feed. You know, sometimes, you know, they steal from you, and it's like, it's not an easy situation. So you got to factor all of that in. Like,
or they're making porn money, or they're making porn money off your battles.
Yeah. It's
usually there's no porn of it.
I was just waiting on that shit.
And I don't even repeat that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even repeat that stuff. I don't say it. I don't retweet it. I don't reply to that stuff. I don't spread it. And I don't do it for any league. You know what I'm saying? I think when these events get set up and you guys get some of the battles that you want to see, you know, you should choose whether you sit down, you spend your $30, $40, $50 on a stream or whatever to be in the building. And, you know, and that's your experience as being part of this hip-hop and battle rap culture. You know, if you come across, I always had the attitude like this. If you come across a bootleg, you know what I'm saying, like, and you want to watch it, then go ahead and click play. You know what I'm saying? Like I think everybody in this world has watched a bootleg before or listened to a bootleg CD before. That's cool. But what I don't get and what I fully don't support and what I think is super lame is the people that try to share it or post it or upload it themselves for likes or for it's like, it's not only is it theft, but it's like, what type of person cares if they could post something and get likes? Like, you already got it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and watch it.
They're making money too. They get asking people to donate to them and everything.
That's a lot. But even if you're not trying to make money off of it, and even if you came across a bootleg, and even if you want to share with your peoples, you know, send it on text or send it a DM or a message or some private message. If you come across a bootleg and you're like, oh, look what I got, and then you go take that to a public, you know, Facebook group and post it like, hey, everybody, watch this. What do you gain from that? You trying to get likes? You know what I'm saying? So it's just a catch-22 sometimes, and I think the more that the culture polices itself, the more you guys will motivate the leagues to spend that type of money, because we all know how much money we lose, and we have to factor that into budgeting. So I can't say, okay, that car you just said cost $500,000, but I expect to make $750,000. So that means that, okay, I'm gonna make $250,000. Cool. Damn, I might lose half of that to bootlegs. And then they wonder why we might say, now it's not worth it anymore. I was cool when I thought I was gonna make $250,000, but now that I'm doing the speculation, I'm seeing how many bootlegs and views went out last event. Now I'm only gonna make $100,000. and it took me $500,000 to put together, that's not worth the risk. No thanks. And the leagues be in those situations. So we got to be protective of the platforms that you guys want this big content from. So just keep that in mind.
Right. Let me ask you, how do you feel before your battle, before your event? You know, you heard the outrage of the community in battle rap about the inconsistencies and the, you know, clearly not caring about, you know, the content they're putting out here in these battles. What are your thoughts of the battlers that are constantly either, you know, choking, not putting on a good performance, always on the cam talking about they don't care, it doesn't matter, I wasn't excited for this battle, to stealing deposits, not doing no shows, things of that nature. What are your thoughts on it? And also, how do we, like, the fans are getting fed up with it, and we feel like if we get everybody's on one accord, how to penalize these type of guys and to show them that we're not paying you to be doing this. We're paying you to bring a good product. What is your thoughts of this, and what should we do as far as on the league's end of this situation also? Because at the end of the day, y'all book these MCs, right? So what do we do as a culture to prevent things like dropping the ball and messing up investments or, you know, sponsors or things like that?
Yeah, it's a catch-22 sometimes, because you're gonna have battlers that have poor performances or choke, and it's not necessarily a coming from a standpoint where they didn't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes somebody could be super ready, and then they got into that moment, and the crowd threw them off, or the entourage threw them off, or they blanked out being up on that stage under the lights, and they do whatever. So we have to make sure that we separate the difference. Now, on the other side, not to stick up for choking, because you do have people that choke because they're just totally unprepared. They say they didn't care about battles, or they didn't prep. Those people, you know, it's three areas that need to address it. You know, all three. It's not one of these three areas can fix it. All three need to come together and fix it. So obviously, the first is the battler, okay? The battler needs to be in a position where if he doesn't care on his own and he still gets booked, he has to be in a position where he's forced to give a shit. So at the end of the day, nobody could stop a battler from prepping or not prepping. We're not with them when they're sitting down there writing their rhymes and remembering them. So it definitely starts with the battler. They're first and foremost. Second is the platform and the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are times where, you know, platforms, they'll book, you know, for the money opposed to the quality, you know, and I'm not mad at the hustle, you know what I'm saying? But you can't do it consistently. You know, you have to find your mediums of mixing good business for you and your company along with quality. You can't always go for money. Sooner or later, you know, you have to mix in a good amount of quality as well. And you do that by making sure that you're working with people that bring a certain level of reliability. You know what I'm saying? You know, and to stay on the second topic for a second, like, I even tried to address this, like, almost 2 years ago. I put a blog up that says, why the leagues keep booking the same battlers, right? And I was focusing on the reliability factor, and I was using examples like DNA. I was like, sometimes people get at DNA and they say, oh, we don't want to see DNA. But on the other side of that coin, it's like a league is supposed to consistently book a battler like DNA. Why? He always shows up. He always gives his A game. You could tell that he gives a shit. He promotes. He gives a show. people don't feel like they didn't get their money's worth, whether they liked one of his rounds or not. He's not stealing from the quality of what the fans expect. So you should see leagues cater towards those type of battlers. You know, when you got battlers that are punctual, they're on time, they promote, they send in their footage in, they chime in with their fans, they perform their 3 rounds, they don't show all of that shit. You have to pay attention to all those intangibles of an artist and reward it. And even reward sometimes is a bad word to use because, you know, you shouldn't have to feel like you're being rewarded for something that you're being paid to do. It should feel like I'm being paid to do the job that we have an understanding on already. You have an understanding of paying me X, Y, Z. I have an understanding of performing or doing X, Y, Z in my contract. We meet in the middle. We deliver that. The fans are happy. You know what I'm saying? So that's the second element, the league level. The third element is the fans. And, you know, I've said some of this in recent interviews or blogs where, you know, let's be honest, like sometimes fans are hypocritical. And when I say fans, I'm talking about fans, bloggers, and media. You know, that's even me. I'm a fan. Everybody that is a fan is sometimes inconsistent and hypocritical in that they claim that they have a complaint about somebody, but they'll still go spend the money on it. And you got to call the spade a spade, and you can't lie to yourself. You have to be real and say that if you happen to be a league owner or a platform owner or a business owner, and if something is beneficial to you and you make money on it, yet the fans complain about it, if the fans are still paying money for it or if not spending more money on it the next time, why would that business change? That business won't change.
Well, that's because they're spending that money for the other artists because it's not fair. Some of them should look at it as not fair to everybody else that's on the card. You know what I mean? When there's two, three guys that's not supposed to be on that card. You know what I mean? I think that's why they still fire too.
But you have seen, you know, fans complain, and I'm still on the third now, which is the fans. You have seen some of the same fans complain, but still spend the same money to go see that person main event the next card. You know what I'm saying? Like, that happens, you know, and people can just laugh their way to the bank sometimes. I understand and I respect business and I respect the hustle. You know, I'm not getting on no cameras and complaining about it. You know, people do what they do. Mm-hmm. But when the fans don't build up that type of, you know, strength with the platforms or the leagues, you know, then nobody believes it. It just comes off like complaints. Like, I've seen blogs, for example, where a blogger might target a particular battle rapper and say, fuck this person, get him out of here, he should retire, or he's the worst, or I don't respect this person, he does this, he does that. But then let that same battler get booked and announced for a different matchup that might be compelling, and that same blogger is blogging on it, which is, you know, reporting on it and promoting it, no matter how they slice it, they start promoting it, they start talking about it, and they chiming in too. They go from saying, get this person out of here, and then the blog after that be, all right, well, you better win this time. That's hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, nobody's going to change unless they're forced to change, and the fans are the ones that force change. Like, this is the first time in a long time I've seen media, bloggers, and fans really push for change, where I see fans, you know, threatening to not spend their money on things. And then you start seeing different types of reactions. You know, all you got to do is just watch what's happening in the public. You know, you see reactions sometimes when you threaten people's pockets. You know what I mean? So until the hypocrisy stops, I don't be too invested. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I tell people too, like, if the people that are tearing down the culture, like far as not all the things I listed about this conversation, that we need to stop supporting them. If they don't care, we need to stop supporting them. You know what I mean? That means stop watching them, stop spending your money on them. Like, once they don't get no attention at all, no blogs, no nothing, then they're gonna then that's when they probably get it together. But we shouldn't have to do that.
And you can tell the difference. You can tell when somebody is booking something because or something's being consistently promoted because they believe in it, you know, you can tell that, and that deserves, you know, its credit and its respect to say, well, all right, let's see how it turns out. But then you can just tell when somebody is just laughing their way to the bank. I mean, you could forget battle rap. You're supposed to be able to identify those things in just regular business or life, period. You know what I'm saying? There's something just laughing their way to the bank by putting out, like, you know, fake Jordans or, you know, shitty food that people buy, like McDonald's. McDonald's laughs their way to the bank. You know, the food is horrible for you, you know, but they make it taste a certain way, and people just keep going right back to buy it, knowing that it's unhealthy as shit. You have to identify it, you know what I mean? And then you react accordingly, and then you'll see if people change or not. McDonald's ain't going to change shit. Why? Because it's $1 billion industry. People say it's unhealthy, but if I'm looking at the sales and I made more this year than I made last year, I'm going to keep using the same ingredients. Y'all fuck yourselves. I'm not here to protect y'all. Y'all got to protect yourselves. That's the world we live in, and it's no different in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? It's no different in battle rap. It's just all business and how the consumer reacts to the seller, period.
Man, I appreciate you, man. I know you got a busy day.
Likewise,
I don't know.
Likewise.
I appreciate you coming back on Hold the Cell Radio.
Likewise.
I'll hit you up later. You know what I mean? If you do decide to come down to St. Louis within an event, just hit me up first so I can know get my head start planning first, please.
Definitely. Got you. Yeah, I mean, listen, we never know what the future holds, man. So I'll definitely keep you in the loop if that plan starts to come into play. Got you.
Yeah.